folks. I was pretty closely associated with the writing, at least in the post side, for adapting, especially the Japanese scenes that were coming in, and we were having to merge the modern footage with the stock footage that we were using. So it was always a huge writer's focus to make sure that our position as role models was honored and was forefront in the writing. Sometimes to the point where we felt it was a little squeaky clean, but we understood the responsibility that we had with all of the children, and it was sort of clear to us, even before the show had the ratings, that it was going to be very successful. Not right away, but pretty early on, the way things were starting to gear up, especially as we got into season 1, getting ready for season 2. So we really did have a very serious, sober sensibility about the responsibility of being role models. That was really very, very much reviewed and kept consistent throughout production. But and aside, personally, I had a funny story. I was at a bridal shower for a friend, a baby shower. And there were some children there, and I saw a little boy who was about 6, and he was running around the table with his Power Ranger shoes on. And so I said, hey, and I kept trying to get his attention. I said, you like the Power Rangers? Mm-hmm. And he said, oh, I see Alpha on your shoes. Do you like Alpha? Yeah, and I said, he likes you too! This poor little boy just went, and started screaming. He was traumatized.
Oh no!
Coming out of a woman, so Logan Crunch children.
Oh my!
This question is for Brianne. Now, I know you did the voice of Circuit in Time Force. However, I noticed you did a lot of voices at the beginning, when my Morphicon was around. And, okay, here's this question. This episode is about I Guy from... Now, it was years later before I actually heard it, but you seem to do the voice of Billy's prodigy in the I Guy episode.
Help me.
Yeah, because
a little version of Billy.
Yeah, it was like a little version of Billy, but I think there may have been something wrong with his voice, and he may have done something to dub it to be a boy's voice.
Oh, possibly. We do that a lot. Yeah. You always feel bad about that, I have to say, because then they watch their episode and they don't hear their own voice. But Wendy probably you know.
Yeah, I think I directed you on that. I think we had a problem with the actor being available to do his own ADR, his looping. So we decided that we would just redo he didn't have that much dialogue, as I recall. And so sometimes we'll do that, especially with children. Children can only work a short work day legally, so they're only allowed to have so much time in the booth, and often we leave that to the professionals, people like Fran.
Thank you.
I wish I remember that. Thank you, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for all the female actors there. Barbara, Catherine, thank you guys for coming to AX. Two questions. One for Candace and one for Sophia. But before I say it, Candace was 14. So I'm on that right. And the name for inspiring me. Because I'm now a writer fan. I know I might catch a little heat in here. I know it's hard in here, but I'm a writer fan. Everybody recognizes you as Delphine, I recognize you as Granny.
Actually, you're the second person today. There's a second person today who thought I was Sophia.
Really?
They trained, yes, actually the guy that I was going on, Catherine, the best trainer in the world. But he trained also, Sophia, she was an incredible martial artist. But they worked together for a short time, Catherine did, I worked with him as well.
I want to ask you,
It's okay.
how did it feel after when you guys were on set with Power Rangers
Well, I have to say that, going into a show, you know that nothing lasts forever, and you're very thankful and happy to be working. But it's also kind of nice when things end because it gives you an opportunity to go on with your career. And I immediately took 2 months off, and I went to New York, and I visited friends that lived there, and I had a wonderful time doing nothing. I just sat around and did jack, and I loved it. And that kind of really helps to clear your mind. And then I came back to LA in a really good frame of mind, and I found the pavement, and I hit the ground running, and I think that's something that most actors do anyways, is we spend most of our time auditioning, and people don't realize that. I mean, it's so wonderful to get a job. It's almost like the icing on the cake. So I felt great, and I had a positive experience with it, and we all just kind of go on. So.
I have to say, I'm really blessed. I'm always doing something I love. It doesn't matter what it is, I end up just loving it. So I loved working on Power Rangers as Delphine. Just loved it to bits. But I also loved, right after that, getting sort of taken away to do spokes modeling around the world. I traveled all over the places. I saw many countries, all kinds of people. Oh my God, like Sahara, nomads, living with them out there in the middle of nowhere, camels, you name it. I mean, it was incredible. I just loved traveling the world and, expanding some of my horizons in my mind. Came back here, was really lucky to get into voiceover. Somebody heard my voice on a show, I think it was Power Rangers. I don't know how, because of that broken. But apparently they liked the voice enough where, I was called in to do something else, and from there it's just snowballed, and I do that for a living, and it's afforded me to do lots of other things, and just recently back on camera. So it's been a really blessed life. Very, very fortunate. But thank you for asking. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
That's our last question. Yay!